Struggling with obesity or being overweight?
71% of the people in the US are overweight. Or
That's
18% for kids between 6 and 11 are obese. Eat a lot of
6 years old.
potato chips, a lot of calories, and it all doesn't make you more hungry. Because why? Convenient chemical concoction.
We'll share with you the simple yet powerful tips that will help you conquer obesity for good.
It's crazy the amount of people who are overweight and obese. 71% of the people in the US are overweight.
That's pretty high.
It's very high. That means essentially out of four people, three people are overweight or obese.
Wow.
Yeah, and so when I say overweight, let's classify it. I'm saying it's defined as a BMI over 25, and obese is BMI over 30, just to kind of give a framework and some definition around it, make it real. 38% of those people fall into that obese category.
So 38% of that 70%?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not nearly half, but it's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
Here's something that's going to frighten you. 21% of the kids 12 to 19 years old, I call them kids, they're young adults too, but they're kids, are obese. 21%. Here's one that will really break your heart. 18% for kids between 6 and 11 are obese.
6 years old?
6 to 11 years old are obese. That means out of every 5 kids, 1 is obese. And that trend is only increasing.
Makes you wonder, how did they get there?
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really, really sad.
How, when I was growing up, everyone was slender because we were all out on the playground, running around, having a good old time.
Well, that's one way you can think about it too, because kids these days hardly ever go outside, especially in the more of the metropolitan areas. They're iPad kids in a sense.
I do see people who put their kids in activities from a very young age, whether it's baseball, swimming, gymnastics, and those type of sports, but they pay for those activities instead of saying, hey, go outside and play with your friends outside.
When I came home from school, when I was in middle school, the first thing I would do is grab my skateboard. I would go grab my
Yeah.
bicycle,
Yeah,
and I'm going to my friends. Hey, man, you're home. Let's go ride some bikes or go ride some skateboards.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Yeah. I was outside. When we were at school, we were outside playing. I was playing with my siblings, and we were outside playing for hours upon hours, and sometimes getting into trouble with my grandparents because we all lived in the same compound. But it was, but we were outside playing, getting that sunlight, getting that air, not inside sitting on the TV.
Yeah, now you have the TVs on the phones. It's not even TV anymore. It's just video consumption, social media consumption, and now we go out to eat dinner and we don't have our phones on the table much. Now, unless we're really expecting something. That goes way back. We made a commitment, 13 years ago. I used to be working, and like, okay, the phone got to go away. Like, okay, I'm putting the phone up, and yet you see people when they're out, and we always see all the time a date.
Families.
Yeah, they're just like this the whole time. They're not even talking.
Yeah.
Like, why are you even out and about? I mean, you're here to talk and socialize and get to know each other and kind of talk about the week. And
Yeah, we see families out having dinner, and the dad's on the phone, mom is on the phone, probably scrolling through social media, and one kid is on the iPad. Remember, we started a coffee house
yeah,
one time? Mom is on the phone, and the 2 kids are on their iPads,
yeah,
and it's their Saturday morning probably ritual. Who knows? But
wow.
it's there was no conversation. There was none. If there was, the youngest would bring the iPad over to show the mom something that he needed help with, and then she would help scroll through something, and then he'd go back to his seat and back on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely something there, right? I don't need a study. I don't need a research paper. I don't need an expert to tell me that. It's just observational. If you just make a connection, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is something just not quite right there. I think another thing that's not quite right that sometimes people want to avoid is the fact that the foods that we eat are so much worse than we used to eat as kids. Now, granted, I grew up on Captain Crunch. That's not good. No, it's a little bit of Taco Bell as well. That's not good. However, it seems like everything these days is Captain Crunch or Taco Bell in terms of composition.
Yeah, the food has changed dramatically from when when you and I were growing up. It's way more food coloring, way less real food in there, and more so chemical concoction.
Ooh. that was alliteration right there. That was
Oh,
nice.
thank you.
Chemical concoction.
That's what it is. If
Yeah.
you think about it, right? It's like if you look at the ingredients list, some will have some ingredients, but then it's like there's a lot of other ingredients that you can't even pronounce.
Because food, cause what's in broccoli? It's
Broccoli.
broccoli, and you say, okay, well, let's look at. I don't know. I don't even. We looked at hummus the other day
Yeah.
when I went with you finally to the store, right? And I was looking at, oh my gosh, look at all these oils and all this other stuff that's in there. This ain't hummus.
Flavoring.
Yeah, it's chickpeas. Well, I don't know you put it, but it's basically chickpeas, garlic,
chickpeas, tahini,
done,
salt, lemon.
done, right? I don't need all that stuff I can't pronounce. So yeah, again, this is my belief. I just feel people want to be ignorant to what's going into their body because when you eat broccoli, you can't not feel bad.
This is not justifying people either, but you see the thought process. It's convenience.
Oh yeah,
Does that make
convenient chemical concoctions.
you changed it?
Add a C.
You modified it.
Like that.
People come over, including family members will come over and they will see me in the kitchen and they'll make comments. And I don't think they mean anything bad by it, but it's just their observation. It's like, oh, wow, you've been in that kitchen for a little while there. Wow, bless your heart. And it's like, okay, I've only been in the kitchen for like 30 minutes. Up to an hour. If it's over that, I'm meal prepping then at that point. But if it's just making a quick meal, a good meal takes a good 45 minutes to 1 hour. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
It's a matter of priorities just for
Yeah.
people. Know what you want to do. You want to eat the good foods, be physical active to lose the weight. I think therein lies the opportunity, right? I mean, you see what people go through when they're obese or overweight. I mean, what are some things you see?
I see that there's this weight bias out there, right? So people look at them funny. They may not say it sometimes, but you can see the look in their eyes, right? Even certain things they do not make. I don't know. I know I'm being extreme when I say this, but even like amusement park rides, they can't accommodate you, right? Simple things like that. Or you'll have to go to specialty stores to get clothing for your size and so forth.
Yeah.
I mean, and then people look at you differently.
Yeah, there's definitely a stigma there.
Yeah. So they treat you differently. My daughter has a friend. That's not really her friend. It's just this kid in her class, and he's a pretty big boy. Pretty big boy. And for some reason, he's in quite a few of her classes, and one of them was PE. And in PE, the teacher had them run laps as a test, and he was struggling.
Yeah.
So much so, it's like everybody was looking at him because he was the last one, and everybody's long done kicking the ball, just whatever, doing whatever, and he's still trying to finish his laps.
Wow.
And it breaks your heart, right? Because you don't want to see that. You don't want him to be left behind. And nobody made fun of him, but it's like it's there.
So where, yeah, it's definitely a big stigma. I can relate to that because I go think back to, I'll say junior high, a little bit of chubby. I was athletic. I was playing sports, but I was always like the last one running. I wasn't fast. And so I can only imagine what he is experiencing being last, and when everybody's waiting for you. At the end of the day, and that translates into like the real world. I mean, there is like a little bit of a discrimination there, overt or sometimes covert. It's so the opportunity is huge for people to get healthy, lose weight, and really that just expands in all forms of health: spiritual, emotional, mental, physical.
Yeah, getting healthy, and that should make you want to do that.
Yeah,
I know some people they are clueless or they don't care, and if you act like you don't care, something is definitely wrong. You're avoiding something. If you act like you don't care or you say you don't care, there's something else deeper there that's causing that, right? And that goes back to our discussion we had about the type of parenting style you were raised under, right? There's a connection there. Why you don't care, but for the average person out there that's overweight, obese, they care.
how can you not care about your health unless something else is, and that's your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there should be something there that wants to make you change,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, exactly. So let's say that spark is there. You want to get healthy. And then what are the tips? Well, before we get to the tip, because there's always underlying foundational things that need to happen. No matter, because people throw stuff out there, oh, just do this, and that. And you're like, okay, I'm doing this and that, and I don't understand. I'm not doing anything. So, what are some foundational things that people can be aware of or apply before we even get to these tips
Uh, it takes a good 3 weeks, 21 days of avoiding a particular item, right? To actually
to change your taste buds?
to change your taste buds and to get some to have to kickstart that change.
Yeah, yeah. So it takes time to change over your taste buds. I think even more important than that, because it takes that much time, if we're talking about eating, to change your taste buds, is that you don't want to fall into these gimmickly 21 day, 28 day plans. Oh, hey, do this for 28 days and you're going to feel better, lose weight, all that kind of stuff. That's like a diet gimmick plan.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I'm with you 100% there.
Yeah. So don't fall for those gimmicks that they have on TikTok
Yeah.
or on Instagram. Hey, do this for 21 days or a 3-day lemon water fast, and you'll drop the pounds. You'll shred it.
Yeah. They just, that just irrational for a lifetime of health. 28 days. It's not going to make or break you, right? It's more of a consistent pattern. Okay, cool. That's a good one. What's the next one? That's my foundational stuff.
I guess everybody thinks that they have to get it done right away and it has to be perfect.
That's a great one.
I don't think it's not a straight line to that endpoint. It's a slow process, but it's a process, right? And you just have to be patient with yourself and you can't be perfect.
Yeah.
You can't be hard on yourself,
Yeah.
right? As you go through this process. But this is not to use as a crutch and don't make any changes or continue eating the way you eat and saying, I'm getting there slowly.
Right. It's like, oh, I had birthday cake today, but hey, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm getting there. You know when you're right and when you're wrong. Be mindful of that, right?
You hear about me talking about accountability all the time, right? And it's not about me trying to hold you accountable or me as a health coach holding you accountable, but it's really holding yourself accountable to get better every day.
Correct.
Self-improvement. That's accountability.
Correct. When you do that, you not only you're strengthening that muscle in your mind, right?
Yes.
Because that takes time to gain strength. That doesn't happen overnight. Just like muscle in your body, it takes time to build that.
Mm-hmm.
That type of mental muscle takes time to build, but you have to keep at it.
That's why at 21 days and 20 days it doesn't work.
It's not going to work.
Not going to work at all.
That's not going to work. So you have to not be hard on yourself, and you have to stay the course and stay focused.
That's it.
And there's other tips and tricks that you can do to help you stay focused.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you're staying focused too, you also want to avoid unsustainable, irrational practices. You know what I'm saying? So it's like saying, hey, I'm not going to eat dessert ever again.
That's not realistic. Knowing if dessert is you love dessert, right? Or if you love potato chips, right? I'm never going to eat that again.
Yeah, that's just irrational. Or some people, I'm going to give up flour and carbs with 100%. Come on.
I'm not eating out.
No. Yeah.
No, let's be real.
That just setting yourself up for failure. Because at the end of the day, you hear me talk about it all the time. You've got to just build practical skills for life. That muscle, building it up, not in 21 days, right? It's thinking far in advance and just working that plan, loving that journey. Health is a journey, not a destination. Because you know what the destination is? A body finally gives up, and then you die. So I'm not trying to get to that destination. I'm trying to enjoy the journey.
Yeah, for me, when after we had the girls, I wanted to get in shape, and I felt like I didn't fully understand myself and what I like to do to exercise, and I never took the time, and I was always so hard on myself. Instead of saying, you know what, this is the type of exercises I like. I don't like high intensity cardio, but it's like I love weight training, right? But then it's like doing research, and I come, came into this where I fell into a routine of exercising and fell into a routine of doing certain exercises to get stronger, right? But it took time to develop that. It wasn't something I just got up one day and I was doing it every day. There were some days I didn't do it, some days I did it. And then it's like I'll just do it once a week, then it went up to twice a week, and then I wouldn't do it at all. And finally, it's like I had the drive to want to do it, but it took time to get there. And I think that's how you have to approach it when don't get mad at yourself that, oh my goodness, I can't lose this weight, or I'm in my car eating Chick-fil-A again when I know I shouldn't, right?
Right.
Don't be hard on yourself, but you know,
So would you say that one of the big things that helped you kind of get to that point or get through that process, because it is challenging, is just having a supportive environment,
yes,
being encouraged,
yes,
fall down, get back up, like
yeah.
dust you off a little bit.
Yeah. So for me, it was you, right? You would exercise. He would get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Still do.
Yes, and he's been doing this for years now. He would get up at 4:30 in the morning and exercise, and I mean really exercise. And it's like, oh my goodness, he's doing it, so I can do it. And I'm hoping that if he's here and I exercise, that he'll be encouraged as well, right?
Absolutely, I do. Yeah.
To be motivated to stay exercising. So it was little things like that along the way that helped me, right? Or when I journal every night and I write down that I exercise. And, when I look at my journal, if I don't see, wrote down that I exercised, what I accomplished for the day, and exercise wasn't on there. Oh my goodness. It's like, oh no, that's not good. Right?
Holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Journaling is a great tool. Yeah, I think we talked about that in the past, right? Journaling is huge. So yeah, so definitely get support, put yourself in a supportive environment. If you need some health coaching, that's a great way to go. Because there's different kind of coaching, right? There's life, fitness, health. We like doing health coaching because that's where the most bang for the buck, and we feel people can improve a lot of people's lives. So that's the foundational stuff, and that's a lot of stuff right there. So when you think about the tips that you have to do, I mean, what's the proper mixture of the macronutrients, so carbs, protein, fats that you need in your diet?
Oh, I mean, I think from what I've heard you say over the years that you need at least 75% carbs, good carbs. We're not talking about the bad stuff, right? Potato chips and all that stuff. We're talking about good carbs,
Yep.
clean carbs, and then 15% fats. Good fats again. We have to stipulate that, right? Good fats, and then about 10% protein.
Yeah.
Clean
Yeah.
protein. We always got to stipulate clean carbs, clean fat, clean protein, because it's been bastardized.
Completely.
So
Yeah. People are under the impression that you don't eat a lot of carbs. Well, your body is, main fuel source is carbohydrates. That's how you fuel your body. Otherwise, you break down all the other stuff in your body, the fats and the proteins, right? Which is good for when you want to start losing weight. Because, however, you stick to 75% carbs, 15% fats, because you got to build up different hormones and different acids to support your body's function. Cholesterol is important to your body. And then proteins, you don't need that much protein. You really don't need much protein. You're not trying to be Arnold.
Tell it.
Yeah. So that's great. So 75% carbs, 15% fat, and 10% protein. And that is the percentage of calories.
Okay.
All right. That's good.
So what do you think is another one?
Well, I think what goes along with that is that to achieve that, all you have to do is a whole food, plant-based diet.
When people hear whole food plant-based diet, they think they're veganism.
No, I didn't say veganism, right?
I know you didn't say that.
Yeah.
But people automatically, their mind goes there.
You're vegan. You're
Yeah.
vegan. Yeah, you're anti-meat or anti-carnivore forward. No, it's the majority of your foods come from the earth,
Okay.
the ground, legumes, fruits, vegetables. That should be a primary source. And if you do that, you'll hit those carbs, protein, and fat targets essentially. And guess what's going to happen? That fat, it's going to be burned off quickly, real good. I think better yet, I mean, you're big on this, is you want to go for organic and non-GMO.
Yes, definitely. Those are try to get your foods as clean as you possibly can, and if you can't get it fresh, but you can get it organic, frozen, I would go the frozen route over, and as long as it's organic, over the fresh route that's conventional.
Yeah.
Always try to your best eliminate these toxins as much as you possibly can.
And when you think about being obese and overweight, there's a lot of inflammation in fat cells, which inflammation causes chronic disease. So when you think about eating the glycosates or non-organic, those glycosates can actually inhibit the production of like an anti-inflammatory glutathione that's called mediator, which essentially will create more inflammation in your body. So you want to try to eat organic to burn that fat off, to get rid of all that inflammation in your body. Yeah, I mean, you don't get too complicated with all this. It just keep it simple with what we said right there.
Yeah, it's not that complicated.
Yeah.
It only gets complicated when we dive too deep into it. And why? Why? For what?
And I feel like a lot of people out there try to talk so complicated just to make them seem so smart, and it gets so convoluted. And at the end of the day, they absolutely say nothing.
And they create confusion.
Yeah, they say nothing. Oh, but I can talk about the cytokines and inflammation process with the leukotrienes. Come on, man.
Let's just speak in layman terms.
Come on. Yeah, stop it. So as we're burning fat, we also talked about this before in the past, is that fat cells can only burn so much calories in a given day. And so you need more muscle to burn more calories in a day to burn off more fat. So you do got to have some exercise.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, if you don't walk. If you walk, start running. If you run, do something, do some resistance, do something.
Definitely incorporate resistance training. And there are so many opportunities to do that. A lot of parks have, I've seen here, a lot of parks have different exercise apparatus equipment that's there stationary at the park. You can do that. You could do body resistance training.
Do a push-up a day, then get it too. Yeah.
You can do that.
Journal. Hold yourself accountable for that. See how many push-ups you do in a given day.
Yeah. Keep a journal of the type of exercises you do.
Yeah.
That's a good one, babe.
I'm telling you, because consistent chemical concoctions, was it? I don't know what I said before. I liked it though.
Yes. It's a good chemical concoction. Oh gosh.
I know. Well, rewind it. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to keep my thoughts in my head straight for what we're talking about. That's
chemical convenient chemical concoction. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of convenient chemical concoction, what comes to my head are the oils. You gotta get rid of oils.
The cottonseed oil, the peanut oils, there's so many oils.
The seed oils.
All the seed oils. All the seed oils.
Omega-6s.
Yeah.
They call them like that. Linoleic acid.
Yeah.
Again, you don't even know what. Just stay away from the oils. And so more confusion. They're always talking about omega-6, omega-3, right? You need all your omegas 6s and 3s, but you got to have a better ratio. So eat more fish oil, right? So you want to eat more fat to get a better ratio, because a lot of people eat the omega-6 acids, the peanut oils. Okay, hold on. As the ratio is so important, why do I got to eat more fat there?
Yeah.
Don't want to eat more fat, because that's what's making you fat,
yeah.
Right? Eat less of the omega-6s to get your ratios back in proportion. You do that, you'll be completely fine. You'll be have that healthy blend of diets. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not complicated.
It's not.
People
just
do
read the labels when you go to the store. Like if you pick up hummus, just look at the hummus. Try to find alternatives, and if you can't find it, make it.
Oh man,
there's so many free recipes online, and you just have to plan ahead. That's all.
Yeah,
I know it's
so
not.
good.
I'm making it sound really simple, and it is simple, but your life depends on it.
Yeah, that's a payoff.
Yeah,
it's a complete payoff. Yeah. So yeah, and so and I think oils plays into the fact that you have to begin to understand what calorie dense foods are.
What are they?
Well, so it's things that don't satiate, make you full, that have a lot of calories. So
like potato chips.
Potato chips, great example. Eat a lot of potato chips, a lot of calories, and all it does is make you more hungry. Mm-hmm. Calorie dense foods, because why? They're more or less cheaper, and they're just everywhere, and they're convenient chemical concoction.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you got to understand, like if I eat a potato, there's calories in there, but it's dense, so it's gonna make me full.
And the fiber, yeah.
Yeah, the fiber and everything. Mm-hmm. So that right there alone, those things, you can begin to start shedding the weight off. Right, get out of that 71% of Americans that are just overweight, over obese. Yeah. Because when you do, I mean, the results are astounding.
Yeah, you'll lose weight, you'll feel good, You'll bring down your blood pressure, or your sugars, or your metabolic health will improve. You'll
Chronic
sleep better.
disease goes away.
Chronic disease goes away.
Sleep better.
You'll look better, feel better. You'll have a better outlook on life.
Yeah, mentally, get a little more sexual appeal. You're feeling good. Yeah, it's true.
Be
Like,
happier, right? You see, ever see people on social media? They look so happy, and you're wondering why they're so happy. It's like maybe it's their lifestyle, right?
yeah, completely. Yeah, so it's just the self confidence go through the roof, and
Yeah.
I think he said it best. Though it's all about living longer and better on this journey towards life. I'm not trying to get to my destination. I'm trying to make that destination as far as possible. That's when I finally say goodbye to this world. I want that journey to just feel good. I want to physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm going to feel
Feel
great.
good, yeah. And you do that by what you put in your mouth
Yeah, 100%. And exercise.
and exercise.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Man, follow those tips right there. That's how you do it. That's how you lose a weight, no longer be overweight or obese. It's that simple. Find a health coach, follow those tips. You'll be golden, rocking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So as always, thank you for listening.
Until next time, be well.
All right. Take care.